disappointed in the result of the game, obviously, and Texas A&M is a good team. They showed that. Their defense played well. They played physical. I thought it was a physical game today by both sides. And, the score being 3 points for however long it was, it's just a matter of time before somebody's going to be able to put some points on the board. It comes back to playing good football. It comes back to taking care of the ball and being able to be in a positive category on turnovers and, the factors that come with being on the road too. You got to play good. We didn't play well enough to win today. A&M is a good team, and, there's things that we have to go back and focus on, and same things that we talk about every single week. It doesn't change. It's a matter of doing those things consistently, week in and week out. And so plenty of opportunities for us to learn from this and be a better football team. But, it's disappointing. The guys are obviously hurt, as far as just not performing the way that we wanted to. And, that's what we have to make sure that we go back and look at and learn from and use that going into this next week as we prepare for the next game. So questions.
First question is from Jordan Hill.
Bryan, I wanted to ask you about the offensive line. We obviously saw Alex step up and start, but you guys kind of shifted guys around as the game went. Was that sort of out of necessity or just trying to get something going up front?
We've done that a little bit throughout the season already. So that's been part of the formula. Getting some guys in there that deserve to play, also getting some guys in there that we feel are a little more fresh at times. I don't know all the different rotations. Coach Friend handles that, but that is something that we've done. And against a good team up front like A&M, and still being a team that wants to run the football, having some guys in there that could help us do that, that was part of that plan.
Question from Bennett Durando.
Bryan, it seems like these last few weeks, whenever things have sort of started to go downhill, you guys have really been able to find the answer. What was A&M doing that made it tough to sort of dig out of that hole today?
Yeah, well, A&M's good. That's one. They're a good team. We knew that coming into the game. I just don't think that we found that play, that momentum, that spark to really get us on the offensive side in particular, to get us going. And we had our opportunities, and, there was plenty of self-inflicted wounds that we had in there, drop passes. We lost the ball. We fumbled it. Obviously, they scored on defense, which is a big part of it. So there were plenty of things that we can control that we didn't help ourselves with. And, that hurt our offense, hurt our team. The defense, I thought, played well through the game. A&M had some big plays. They had a couple explosives in there. They hit some runs. Those things are going to happen throughout a game. I thought the defense recovered well, did some good things in the red zone. But, we put the ball on the ground, and A&M's defense was able to score, and that becomes a factor in the game. So, and then, we missed a field goal in the red zone as well. And every point, all points matter in games like this. And so, it's just, it comes down to some execution. It comes down to creating some momentum. That's what we've been able to do from what you're asking. And we didn't create that momentum to really get us going and to get the drive going the way we need to, and having those type of plays we had in the past.
Question from Tobias Wilburn.
Hey, Bryan, what was it that made the running back tandem so tough to deal with? Those guys like to bind for 200 yards.
Well, I mean, that's part of, you're talking about A&M's. You're talking about A&M's.
Yeah.
They're that's part of their formula. They're going to play both players. We knew that, and they were able to hit some inside runs. I don't know the whole reason why they were able to do that. Their O-line's probably doing a good job. I know that we misfit a couple plays. The backs found it. When you play good tailbacks, they're going to get downhill and vertical. You got to be able to fill those gaps and play downhill like we did most of the night. But there were some explosive runs, and there were some long runs that you want to eliminate on the defensive side. And you keep making them earn it. They might get 3-4 yards, keep making them earn those yards. And we gave up some explosive plays in the run game. And we knew those tailbacks were going to find it. If you give them an opportunity or a crease, those guys can do things. They're also, I think they created some plays too, but their O-line up front played well. Tailbacks found creases and took advantage of it. And we had to, we recovered in some of those, but we had to do a better job of not letting that happen.
Mark Murphy?
Coach, it seemed like you could never get your running game going consistently. How big a deal is it for this particular team to be able to do that?
We didn't really get a lot going consistently. That was overall what I saw tonight. The run game's a part of that. You got to be able to run the ball, and the run game allows us to be able to set up the pass game and give ourselves a chance to have a clean pocket as well. We've been able to do that in the previous games. That didn't happen tonight. So we just didn't have that same type of momentum in the run game. We knew their guys were good up front, and we needed to do a better job of just, for our offensive line to sustaining and maintaining those blocks, and then the tailbacks going and getting 3, 4, 5 yards. And I think the same thing that we saw from A&M, we can get some consistency in the run game. There was going to be some plays that were going to pop. I thought we were very close. But it also, A&M was tackling well. They were making plays when we got a chance to kind of bounce and get in some space. But yeah, the run game's got to be more consistent. And, we need to be able to run the football. That's part of what we want to do each and every game. It helps all the other things out that we're trying to do, and we didn't do it well enough tonight.
Brian Matthews?
Yes, Brian, you touched on this a little bit, but the fine margins, is that something you can talk to your team about? For instance, you got the missed field goal, the scoop and score, the long pass by them that led to a field goal. That's just 3 plays that, might have changed the way this game looked in the fourth quarter.
I think it's always that. It's always those 4 to 6 plays that happen in a game that change the momentum of the game, and ones that you don't know when they're going to happen. You just got to be ready for them. And so that's why, everybody talks about 4 quarters of football. You just never know when those things are going to happen throughout a game. So you want to play consistent. You want to play good football. And, we didn't have enough explosive plays. They had a few. They were able to create the momentum. The big one is when we fumble the ball and they're able to score on defense. That's a big play. That's a momentum changer right there. And you got to be able to recover from that. And what has to happen is when things go against you, you got to find a way to recover. You got to come back, and it's on to the next series. That play is over. We're on to the next drive. We got to execute there. We got to get ourselves back into the game. And we weren't able to do that. We weren't consistent enough from that standpoint to overcome some of those plays tonight that were negative plays for us. And if you're going to win games each and every week, especially in this league, you got to be able to overcome those plays. Things are going to happen. There'll be negative plays, but you've got to be able to respond and come back and create your own positive plays, move the ball, and respond to what happened. We didn't do that tonight.
Michael Gittens?
Coach, you mentioned not being able to find that spark offensively tonight. Was there a point how do you assess quarterback play? And was there a point tonight where you just considered going to TJ Finley for that spark like you did against Georgia State?
Yeah, it's hard to answer without really watching exactly what happened. I think on the sideline, we all think we know what happens, and then you go back and you study the film, and it was completely different. There was other factors in there. The guy was covered. It was a physical game tonight. Receivers we have to separate. I thought the officials were letting the guys play, and that was part of the game tonight. It was going to be a physical game. It was going to be a physical game even on the perimeter in coverage. So, there's also those factors in there as well. Is the guy getting open? Is there an opportunity for a throw? What's making us hold on to the ball in the pocket? Those are some of the things that I don't have an answer for you right now. As far as the momentum goes, it felt like Bo, could get us back in the game, that we could get that spark. That's something that he's shown and we've done throughout the season. We just didn't get it. We had some penalties. We had some things that, we didn't help ourselves with. We had a couple drops in some critical situations. About the time you're trying to get some momentum, you're moving the ball, you're kind of getting ready to get past the 50-yard line and create some plays, hopefully on that side of the field that can get us, into scoring position. And we just weren't able to do that.
We'll finish up with Brian Stoltz.
Brian, the defense on third down was really steady tonight, holding them from 3 to 13. And then when they got in the red zone, you guys kind of held them to field goals instead of touchdowns. What does that say about this team's effort and the strength of this defense? And what's the difference when they get in the red zone and they make these plays that keep them from getting 6 points?
Yeah, well, I think our defense will swell up in the red zone, and I think we did well on third down situations tonight, for the most part. And when they were able to move the ball down the field, we did swell up in the red zone, did a good job there. And so I thought there were some good things. It's a 3-3 game for 3 quarters tonight. So the defense is playing well. Texas A&M's defense is playing well, and the offenses are trying to find some rhythm, find something that can put some points on the board. So for us, we got to find a way to score. After a while, there's going to be some point, there's going to be some momentum. Someone's going to get a touchdown. Someone's going to create more points. And our defense is doing some really good things on third downs and in the red zone tonight. And we just, we got to work as a team together. We got to create points from an offensive standpoint to keep ourselves in the game. It's just a matter of time before the score changes. But overall, I thought the defense, besides a few explosive plays, they played well. We knew A&M would make some plays. We did swell up in the red zone, did some good things there. And, we've been doing that, so we can build from that there. But overall, as a team, we've got to come together and play better as a team to win games like this.